Welcome to Taking It to the Nub and another fine Saturday night. Tonight, I have a very special guest on, the owner of, yes, it's a real thing, Drunk Chicken Cigars, Desiree Sylver. Let me bring Desiree in, and we're going to get this show rolling, and we're going to learn a lot about this company. And when I'm done, you're going to really understand and want to probably grab some of these Drunk Chicken Cigars. Oh, Desiree, how are you?
Fine, thank you. How about yourself?
Good, good, good. Happy Saturday.
Yes. How was your Saturday?
My Saturday is what my normal Saturday is. It starts with basically waking up in the morning and hitting the Stogie Press button real hard because I got to do newsletters. I have to do a pre-show. I got to do prep show. My wife sometimes wonders if I'm ever coming in to eat anything. We have a quick dinner and then I come back out here again and continue it. So that's every Saturday is like that, unless I'm someplace like TPE where we were last year.
I was going to say, it sounds like TPE all over again.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit quickly about who is Desiree Sylver and what got you into the cigar world. And while you're doing that, I'm going to fire up this Drunk Chicken Original, which you could talk about later what I'm smoking.
All right. Who am I? I'm just a normal girl that likes smoking cigars. I don't know. That's a good question. I think you need to ask another question because I'm stuck.
Oh, well, how about this? How about I do know that you may be a normal girl, but you're a smart girl because you have a PhD in something.
I do in organizational leadership.
Organizational leadership. So you've ran some pretty good organizations in your lifetime.
I've been part of some great organizations in my lifetime, and I've had great people that work with me and for me. So I love all aspects of business. My degrees are all in business, marketing, financial management, organizational leadership, and I've done contracting for over 30 years. So I'm one of those people that like the diversity of business and try to just learn as much as possible about business. I've tried many times to start my own business and have not been successful. And Drunk Chicken Cigars was never supposed to be a business to start with. So maybe it was I didn't have the passion and love like I do for Drunk Chicken Cigars why they weren't successful.
You're also a college professor, I understand.
I used to be a college professor. That is right. I'm no longer a college professor. I was an adjunct at a few colleges. I've taught finance classes, all business classes, contracting classes. I've written curriculum for training institutes. I've trained at several different training institutes besides colleges. So I actually enjoy teaching. That was my retirement plan. I was I was becoming a professor, getting my PhD, so that when I retired, I could work part-time as a professor and teach the next generation.
Kind of what I want to do. You'll have to explain to me how I get into that world because I have like a master's degree in engineering and I've got beaucoup amount of years in the field and I just want to give it all back, you know what I mean? In the end, I think that's a great feeling to be able to get up there and teach and help people grow to where, where you came from?
Yeah, I really enjoyed teaching. It was I used to leave my 8-hour job and run to the university to go teach and stay there and teach 2 or 3 classes that night and feel so energetic. But when I got back to work the next day, I was dragging all through work. But as soon as it was time to go be professor, I was running and had so much energy. So I knew I really enjoyed it.
Now, along that run somewhere, you discovered cigars. So how long have you been smoking cigars?
I started in my early 20s smoking. I was married really young at 19. And my ex and I, he was in the military. We traveled a lot. He picked up smoking cigars and brought it home to me. And so we did it as a pastime, smoke cigars. It was like our date night thing. So we did it I smoked for about 20 years, but I really wasn't up until about the last, I guess, 6 or 7 years ago. Time flies. Yeah, about 6 or 7 years ago, I didn't really get interested in the tobacco aspect of smoking. It was before that, it was smoking as a pastime, smoking as leisure. Didn't really care about what cigar I was smoking, whatever he handed me, I smoked. I started off smoking 6x60s because that's what he smoked. But when I got divorced, and I was home alone, kids had, go with their dad. And I was like, well, what do I do? So I said, well, I used to go to cigar lounges. So I decided to go by myself to the cigar lounge. And when I went to the humidor, and that was really the first time I went into the humidor, every other time he would go in there, grab a cigar, give it to me, and I would smoke it. But when I went in there, I saw so many cigars. I really didn't realize how many different cigars, how many different sizes there were. And the humidor manager was just wonderful, walked me through all the different sizes, the different flavor profile, explained to me wrapper, binder, filler, and I didn't know any of those things at the time. And so I just absorbed it and went home. And I think I bought about 10 cigars that night and started to research them, created a spreadsheet about them. And just 200 plus cigars later, my spreadsheet kept going with notes and stars on what I liked and didn't like. And it became, I kind of knew what tobacco I liked at that point. What tobacco wasn't really my thing. So I grew a fondness for cigars.
Now, as you were enjoying this, you mentioned earlier that this was Drunk Chicken was never really supposed to be a business, but somehow this concept came to you. And I guess everybody has been asking me that since I posted the announcement. Drunk Chicken Cigars, what a great name. How the hell did that name come up to be? So here's your moment to tell the world, my world, how did Drunk Chicken Cigars come to be? Because you told me this and I love the story.
Okay, so I have a small chicken farm in my backyard. I have anywhere from 20 to 30 chickens at a time, and they're pets. I just grew up around chickens. My mom is from Jamaica, and during the summertime, she used to ship me out to Jamaica. I used to run around on the farms out there all the time. So it's something that I picked up and I love. And my friends would come over and I'm 10 miles from DC. They don't know anything about chickens. So they would see the chickens running around and do what chickens do. The hens would squeak at each other. There's definitely a pecking order. They would hit each other. They would fall out in the sun, sunbathing. And we would, eat and drink, and they would tell me, your chickens look drunk. And all the time we're drunk. And they told me, you should call this place the Drunk Chicken. And I thought it was funny. So I created a plaque that says, welcome to the Drunk Chicken, where we smoke cigars, drink whiskey, and we're living the dream. So when I decided to do create cigars, well, let me back up a little bit because we traveled a lot. Rico and I, we travel a lot, and we actually were in Florida, and we met a group of rollers that we work with right now, and they helped us develop the cigars that the original 5 Drunk Chicken cigars that came out. But they weren't developed to sell. They were developed on what we like to eat, drink, and how we like to party. So the DCO was created.
What I have. That's
Yes,
this.
the DCO was created because Rico likes full body cigars. He likes 6x60s. It only came in the 6x60 when we originally did it. The Maduro, the earthiness, those are the things that he liked. And I liked it when I was smoking whiskey, but I could only smoke that cigar in the house because it went to my head. I'm more of a medium person. And then the Mother Clucker, I like
Say
the
that
pepper.
again now, very slowly.
Mother Clucker.
There you go.
Uh, the Mother Clucker was made because it pairs so well with the red wine, and that came in the Robusto originally. That cedar and that light spice just enhanced my red wine to me. Then the Fat Hen only came in a shorty torpedo because I wanted those for my lunch break for work. He smoked them for lunch break for work. They're great medium, cigar, solid medium. The Living the Dream, we smoke cigars. He smoked 2 or 3 a day or 4, depending on the day. And I would do the same. And then after you smoke so many cigars, you kind of want something on the lighter side if you want to smoke another cigar. So that's why we did the Living a Dream. It's smooth and easy. And then the Sweet Dreams is like a great morning with coffee or a dessert cigar. And so the cigars were all made just for us and how we like to smoke. And we originally bought 100 of each cigar because when you're smoking 3 or 4 or 5 cigars a day each, that's an expensive habit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and so we used to joke. One of us had to quit smoking, but when we did this, this allowed us to have a great quality cigar with some variety at a reasonable price. So that's why we did it. We bought 500 at that time.
Okay. So you talked about 5, and they all represent kind of your lifestyle, the way you enjoy. So the last one, the limited edition, which by the way, trying to figure out how this fits into your lifestyle, I'll just name it the Homicidal Hand. So what part of the lifestyle is the Homicidal Hand in?
So the Homicidal Hand was never made for Rico or myself. It was actually that was made after we launched the company. The original 5 were the launch of the company, and because our friends told us that we should sell the cigars, they were great cigars, and so we decided to try our hand in it. The Homicidal Hand, we were doing the business for a little while and listening to feedback from some of the customers about, oh, you should do a full body. And we're like, well, that's what the DCO is. No, I mean fuller body, something with a lot of, kick. And we received a lot of that feedback. So we blended, we went on the blending process, and we blended and we did market research with not only friends, but patrons out in the cigar lounges, asked them to try it. We took notes on what they thought. And this particular blend was just like outstanding, the Homicidal Hand. So we decided to launch that. But unfortunately, when we launched it, because it was supposed to be a full run cigar, just in regular run, but when we launched it, the broadleaf kind of disappeared on us, and we couldn't find it. So we decided, okay, it's going to come back eventually, so we'll make it a limited edition cigar. And so that's why it became a limited edition cigar instead of a full run.
Okay.
And so now we really We promised to make at least 200 boxes a year. This year we're able to make 250 boxes. We sold out of the Homicidal Hand, and so they won't come back until next August. Oh, well, I mean this August. I'm sorry.
This August. So
This
Homicidal
August.
Hand's available this August.
Yeah, they'll be available this August.
Need to do something with the Rooster also, so the Rooster and the Hen can have fights.
Oh, the Rooster. How the Mother Clucker came about was I used to have a rooster called a Midnight. I name all my chickens. And so the Rooster, that was the first rooster I had. And I had them in a pretty small what do you call it, chicken coop at the time, and it was like my first like 5 or 6, and he was one of them. And I didn't know at the time, but there were coyotes and hawks and foxes all like attacking the chicken coop when I wasn't around. So he became ultra aggressive. So it became very hard to feed Midnight and the other chicken. So every time I used to come out there with chicken feed, he used to attack me. And so the first time it happened, I was out there with my kids, and he's coming at me and coming off the ground with, he had these long spurs, talons, and he come off the ground to try to hit me with the talons. And my kids are there, and I had this plastic bin in my hand, and I'm fighting the rooster, trying to make sure that he didn't get past me to the kids. And my daughter's over there cheering me on. Get him, mommy, get him, get him. And I'm afterwards, after everything calmed down, I'm like, why are you cheering me on to kill the rooster? She said, he's outside my window, cock-a-doodle doing all the time. I'm sick of him. So yeah, so I every single time I tried to feed that rooster or actually the chickens, he would attack me, and I would end up like fighting. If anybody would have videotaped it, I would have been instant famous on Instagram if they'd taped those fights being a chicken. And I used to say, that's Mother Clucker, this Mother Clucker, stop Mother Clucker. I said it so much because I wasn't trying to cuss in front of the kids. And so I came in one day and they said, did that Mother Clucker attack you today? And I was like, what? So I realized I said it too much. So that's why I had to use it as one of the names in honor of Midnight.
There you go. Kelvin Brown asks, how can we get this line of cigars online or B&Ms?
So let me start with B&M, brick and mortars. You can look at drunkchickencigars.com/locations. You can type in your zip code, and most of the locations that sell Drunk Chicken Cigars are there. So it's drunkchickencigars.com/locations. And there, I have not updated it since last month. So there's about 10 more that need to go on there across the US, but it's pretty up to date. But online, you can buy 5-packs and boxes and sample packs at drunkchickencigars.com.
So for everybody, this is what Desiree is talking about. So if you put in locations here, which is interesting, you don't have the locations on the menu pick, it looks like.
Yeah, it's on the menu somewhere.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Is it frequently asked questions? No. All right, well, I have to check it out.
We want to check that.
Yeah.
Anyway, you put locations in here, and I did look at this, and you are in a lot of shops from California to Florida, the Midwest to the Northeast, all done in a matter of what, 2.5 years, 3 years you've had the company?
Since October 2019. Our first sale wasn't until January 2020.
So basically 2 years you've been running. You've covered a really good chunk of the United States. in that 2-year campaign. I applaud you. That's not easy to do for any new business. You did you have any challenges as a woman-owned cigar business in doing that? Did you get any looks, any thoughts, or what do you know about this, or was it very accommodative?
Um, so before I answer that question, we're also in the UK. So
Oh,
um,
in the UK also.
we're also in the UK. Yes. We have a distributor, Rebellion Cigars, is the distributor for the UK. So if you're in the UK, check out Rebellion Cigars. So that question, did I get any pushback, feedback, funny looks? Yes, absolutely. I've gotten asked many times, what makes you a cigar aficionado? But I never said once that I was a cigar aficionado. I'm a cigar enthusiast. What makes you feel like you could blend cigars? Never said I could, but I did with those. and and I blended what I liked. That's it. Um, I get asked all when I first started and came into shops. The first hello was, "Who are you repping for?" So when I tried to explain, there were many doors no, but I also felt like every no meant there was a yes right around the corner. So I just kept at it, just picking up the phone, having conversations, and there was a lot of people that were helpful, and I listened and took advice. There's a couple lounges that gave great feedback, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I am right now. Oh, sorry about that.
And that's a testament to the industry as a whole, because we do help each other move along in this, whatever lane you're in. It's always good to have people in the industry. You've connected with all of these are made in the same factory here in Florida.
Yes.
Okay, so you connected with a really good factory that has so their source of leaves, are they sourcing their leaves from Central America? Do they source it from within Florida from a wholesaler? Do you
So
know?
when we originally started, they sourced all the leaves from Oliva
Okay.
tobacco. Now there was times that we had to do Aganorsa, but now I kind of a lot more involved, and I've made connections with some direct suppliers, like our Mexican San Andreas now comes from Mexico. It's not so, and we are looking for other sources of other tobaccos to see if we can cut out the middle person.
So is
So
that based on cost or also based on quality of leaf?
a little bit of both.
Okay, so
So
you feedback or something you've gotten early on might have said something saying, "Hey, we got to get a better leaf."
no, well, I feel like we have great quality leaves. So we are looking outside for cost to
Mhm.
reduce cost. But we're also making sure I'm just not going just because it's coming from Mexico doesn't mean that we're going to buy it. It has to be just as good or better quality leaves. And yes, we have found better quality leaves as we start to try to source from the individual countries.
Okay.
But we also trying to make sure that we keep the blend steady and consistent too. So I'm a lot more involved in the process than I was when I originally it was just going back and forth with them on the leaves that I liked and the ratio of the fillers when we first started. Now it's making sure that there's consistency, trying to make sure that we can reduce costs, and so there's a lot more that goes into it. We talk at least, I would love to say once a week, but every once in a while it's once every 2 weeks. But we are really a great team.
And this cigar, I could tell you, just on the first inch. So it's I love the smoke output that's coming out of this, and I love how it's doing what I like cigars doing. So there's a little jagged burn right there, but
Mm-hmm.
it is finding its way. If I just hold this cigar right here, you could see where it's starting to burn up and around, that it's not a cigar that just sits there and doesn't put the smoke out, because it's trying to get its way. And I like that. That means, to me, I always like that in cigars. It tells me a very nice quality roll, right? And bunching. Just look at that. I don't know if people could see that, how that smoke's coming off of there, but I can see it.
I say the smoke dances on that cigar.
It does. It dances up and down the barrel, right?
It does.
Good,
Yes.
good description. Let me take a fast break. I'm going to shout out the sponsors for the show today, and then when we come back, we'll dive a little more into your experience in blending, some of the things you've learned by working with a factory, and I'm sure with some master blenders at the factory. So today's show is proudly brought to you by the Cigar Clowns. The Cigar Clowns are a group of brothers of the Leaf up in Brooklyn, New York, Staten Island, New York, Queens, New York, who invite you to come along on a journey to find the perfect cigar. If you're lucky enough to get your hands on one of their limited releases, you know what's up. If you haven't had one, stay tuned to their Facebook page, and when a run drops, they go quickly. They like to have good conversation, great people, and smoking cigars. Check out Cigar Clowns. They'd like to welcome all brothers and sisters of the Leaf who share the same love as they do for cigars. And you can always look at some of the reviews I've done on Cigar Clowns drops. They really are special cigars. The next sponsor. Oh, come on, click. Okay. Dumb. My apologies. Hold on. That's what I love about a live show. We do it this way. There we go. Okay. The next sponsor is La Jolla del Chan. La Jolla del Chan is a dream come true for husband and wife Gabby, El Chan, and Liz. They want all hands that work the tobacco leaf in their home country of Puerto Rico to have the same opportunity to expose their products. They call it La Jolla del Chan because they cultivate part of their product, and at some point they want to be able to share the world with their native tobacco leaf. The pride that Gabby and Liz feel is the same pride of all those that work the tobacco leaf, and for this they deserve a portal that represents them. They want to thank everyone for supporting their country. We will resist, they say. You could follow them at www.lajolladelchan.com and El Chan Cigars on Instagram and Facebook. Today's show is also brought to you by Cigar Medics.
Before you light your next cigar, be sure to check out Cigar Medics, the makers of the patent-approved humidimeter. The humidimeter is a tool designed to display the relative humidity inside your cigar. With this device, there's no more guessing. Simply insert the probes into the foot or cap of your cigar, and you can instantly know if your cigar is ready to be smoked. Buy now on cigarmedics.com and see site for other cigar accessories. With the humidimeter, you'll know when to hold them and know when to smoke them.
And we are also brought to you by Nova Cigars. Platinum Nova Cigars is a premium-owned and operated cigar, a family-owned and operated premium cigar company. Only the highest vintage tobacco and the most skilled hand workmanship go into the making of each Platinum Nova cigar, resulting in a timeless blend of art and craftsmanship. The Nova brand and the family's work are a tribute and an honor to their grandfather to always remember him and his infinite passion for the finest cigars. Their love for cigars started with their grandfather, a dedicated master blender and entrepreneur in the cigar industry. So the next time you're looking for that exquisite cigar experience, pick up a Platinum Nova. You can check them out at www.novacigar.com and on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And finally, today's show is brought to you by Rodriguez Cigars. Rodriguez Cigars is the oldest cigar factory in the island of Key West. Started in 1947, the Rodriguez family began the masterful art of cultivating tobacco on their private plantation in the town of Cigar in Cuba. They moved in 1972 to the United States, and in 1984 founded the Rodriguez Cigar Factory. And now, after the third generation, owner Danny DeFabio, the grandson of the original founder, now runs the shop, has expanded the shop, and includes cigar tours of how to make, how to roll, and you can actually roll your own cigar at that shop as part of that tour. The best part of Rodriguez Cigars is it's the only place I say to go get a cigar in Key West. They've been making cigars premiumly since 1980s, and they are spectacular. So check them out next time you're in Key West, or just go to RodriguezCigarsKeyWest.com and you can order them online. I'd like to thank my sponsors for that. For without them, this show is a little harder to do. Let's get back to Desiree. All right.
Wow.
So
That
when
was a commercial break.
I always give my my guests a break, only because they need a break sometimes. Gather their thoughts too. So you connect with a factory,
Mhm.
and you kind of know what leaves you like, and I can appreciate that, having done a similar thing myself once. But you work with some master blenders. So talk about what you learned about leaf, about blending, about construction by blending in that process.
Well, I learned a lot because I've never done it before. And then it was just at first it was just real fascinating to see them roll. And then I got to smoke puros of the cigars that I said I wanted, and the leaves that I said I wanted. And he would ask me questions about what flavors and notes I was getting out of it. And then we combine some of the leaves together to see what flavors and notes I was getting once they were combined. So it was a fun process learning when we took the leaves and we were talking about kind of enhancing it. The sweet tip, the Mexican San Andreas, when we smoked that, came out almost tasting like raisins, smoking raisins. And then when we did the Connecticut, it became cocoa and vanilla. So each leaf picked up different flavor notes when we enhanced it. And so it was just a fun process learning. I look forward to when I get to blend other cigars, because I want to do a Sumatra, and I didn't get to, blend with the Sumatra. I didn't get to blend with the Corojo yet. I didn't get to blend with so many other leaves. And I haven't, I stopped trying to blend right now because I wanted to focus on what we have and not, and getting a solid foundation for the organization before we started introducing a lot more other cigars. It's already 13 different faces.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's 6 different blends. Each blend comes up with 2 to 3 different sizes. So it's a lot to keep up with right now, with DCO coming in the 6x60, the Robusto and the Lancero, the Mother Clucker coming in a Gordo, a box press, a Robusto and a Robusto, and so on. So, and what the stores like and the different customers want. And so once we get a good solid foundation, and I'm hoping in another year, then we should be able to introduce new cigars. I want to make sure that the quality stays consistent. I don't want to overexert the rollers by adding more to the plate. And so I would like to make sure that we grow at a good pace.
Well, you've been growing, that's for sure, based on your map. I was at TPE with you. I was in that that area. You were in a kind of a pavilion area that had a number of other brands, and you were pretty jammed. We had a brief conversation with you. You had a lot of customers talking, looking interested, curious. How did TPE turn out for you?
It was a good show. We were, like you said, we were in a pavilion. We were with Sutliff Tobacco. That is our distributor. So we partner with them. They have a license for all 50 states. They understand the distribution process. They have the infrastructure in place where I did not have it. And so I felt it became a point where I was trying to do sales, trying to train new ambassadors, trying to make sure shipping, wholesale and retail got out on time. And I am big on customer service, and I started to slip up and forget, and it became unacceptable to me. So I sought out different distributors, and Sutliff made me feel like family. It just feels like the right fit for the relaxed environment, the family environment, very genuine people. I couldn't ask for a better fit. So it just made the right decision to go with them.
Now you get out on the road a lot now. Are you going to shops, doing events?
I kind of slowed down on that a little bit. However, Sutliff, that transition just happened November. So I was learning the process with them, and the transition of the cigars, and what how, just making sure how the ambassadors are paid, and things of that nature. Now that I'm a little bit more familiar with everything, I feel like all the processes are a lot more stable. I am going to get back out there and go to shops, and visit shops again. That's one of the things that I love to do. Everybody was super duper friendly, and made you feel like you were hanging out with family. So, and then COVID slowed that down a little bit
I was
too.
going to ask you that. Go ahead. Tell me a little about COVID. How it
Yeah.
affected
Well, there was a point where it was like, COVID what? And we were in New Jersey and New York and Pennsylvania, no mask, having a ball, and somehow I was spared COVID, I think. Now I was sick a couple times, and I probably did have COVID, but not sick enough to go to the hospital or anything like that.
you.
But yeah, we traveled to Florida, Tennessee, Texas. We were in the middle of COVID. Going to lounges, but I can tell you did slow down, because there were many other places that we could not go to because of COVID. This area here in the DC area, when it shut down, and you couldn't do anything. Oh well, we just go to Florida or Georgia. They were still open, so, or Texas. So we kind of worked around all the different areas, and made it work.
So when you start to do your events, what will a Drunk Chicken cigar event be like? Will there be the mother clucker with you? You bringing the mother clucker with you? Are you are you going to be throwing out rubber chickens? Is there like special swag that you have that people get? They buy cigars. I mean, what kind of how's your event work? I mean, I love events that have cool things.
You know what? I'm going to start researching some rubber chickens now, just because you said that. But typical cut and light. There are we have water bottles and T-shirts. We have keychains and things of that nature. We have been looking, trying to get Cooper, which is our mascot. We named him Cooper. We're trying to get him a custom stuffed animal made of him, that we'll start to give out. We have not been very successful. Yeah, that's Cooper there.
This is Cooper, huh?
Yes, Cooper. We have sweatshirts and t-shirts and things of that nature that people can buy. The hats, they're embroidered, and the beanies are embroidered as well. Cutters and lighters. That cup right there is very interesting because it turns, I think when you put hot water in it, like coffee, it turns like that. And when it's cold, it's all black.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And patches. Yeah, we definitely give a lot of patches away. We have that color and white.
Very cool. Cooper looks like he's having a lot of fun.
Well, he's a drunk chicken. He's definitely a drunk chicken.
Yeah, he looks like he's had a little too much there, but he's coming out of the egg drunk. So that's smoking a cigar.
The attention to details, even his eyes are red.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he knocked over his alcohol, waking up hungover, eyes red, and smoking a cigar, getting ready for the day.
So have you figured out an agenda or an itinerary for moving through the country? You have a zone, a region that you want to hit first?
I'm going to be in Florida this month around Valentine's Day. I'll be in like the Virginia area in March. I think April. It's April or May. I'm gonna be in Tennessee. I don't remember which one.
Good market.
I'll be in Texas. May. One of them's Texas, one of them's Tennessee. And then back to Vegas in July. And then California right after. And then I'll be back here because I have probably back in Florida because I have some big moves that I'm trying to make this year too.
Now, where in Florida do you plan on doing? And your first trip down here, where in Florida are you looking to head up? I mean, a big state, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm actually looking to move to Florida. So when I fell in love with the West Coast, Naples, Sarasota. Yes, I love that area. And so I've been looking at houses. In about a year and a half, I'm definitely going to be down in that area, living there. And I'll be hopefully within 2 hours away from the manufacturer, being down at 2.5 hours away. So that's an easy drive coming from DC. Everything's an hour and a half. So what's an extra hour?
Sure.
Yeah.
Have you planned to do it like the Atlanta market or North Carolina market? Like they have North Carolina's got the Queen City Festival and the other Charlotte Festival going on.
Either myself or one of the ambassadors will be hitting many of the cigar weeks and cigar festivals. Definitely doing Philly Cigar Week. Definitely doing Queen City, Garcello, and we have kind of tagged which ones each one's doing, so that we can be as many as possible. Possible will be a DC Cigar Week, DC Smoke Week. There's a couple here. And hopefully I wanted to get to New York last year to their cigar week. I was unable to. So hopefully I'll be able to do that this year. They were one of the first markets that really embraced my cigar. So I want to be able to show them love as much as possible.
In the New York market.
Yes, the New York market.
That's it, because we like to break balls, and Drunk Chicken is a great name. It's unique in itself. It's not a family name. It's not this. It's just like, God, you gravitate to that name.
Thank you.
Kudos on the name for sure. When you now that you've been doing this, Is there anything you would have done differently for anybody new in the business? Is there anything you would have done differently getting started, or do you think you hit the ground the right way?
Um, I think I hit the ground the right way because I did do a lot of talking and listening to a lot of the shops. And if you decide that you want to do this, and I don't know why you will want to do it, because if I had to do it all over again, I may rethink it. But I'm here now, and I'm not a quitter. But talk to the lounge owners. They're the ones that's going to buy it. They're the ones that have to promote it. They're the ones that have to understand it. And if they don't get it, their patrons aren't going to get it. So educate, educate, educate. So that teaching background that I have, when I'm listening to what they're saying, the first thing I ask is, what are your customers like? That's why we have so many Batolas right now, is because in Texas they like Lanceros, in DC they like Gordos, but on average they like Toros or Robustos sizes. So that's one of the reasons we have so many sizes. So when the shop owner says, well, they really like Gordos, full body here, we have something for them. When they say, oh, well, we sell Lanceros like crazy, well, we have those. So we listen to ask the right questions. What are your customers like? What do you like? Because they're the ones that's going to push it and promote it when you're not there.
And do you have any limitations on orders? Do you have to bring in the whole line? Can you just pick different lines? Like if I just want to bring in the Mother Clucker and the original, can I do that and not do the others?
You could, but I always recommend doing at least 3 lines.
Mm-hmm.
3 lines, I won't get lost on the shelves as much. If I'm there with two boxes and I'm in between Rocky Patel that has 30 different lines, I'm gonna get lost. So and a lot of it just depends on the store too. Having that conversation with the store owner. And my cigars are like my babies, so it's important to me to understand placement and how you're going to do it. If you're going to put it in the middle of Rocky, at least give me a chance. Give me 3 faces on the shelf. But it's really not a mandatory, but I do respectfully request.
Is there a limit on the minimum number of boxes they need to buy?
No, there's no minimum number. You're going to pay for shipping, capitalize on that shipping cost, because the shipping cost can go crazy if you buying one box at a time.
Sure.
And when you bring in cigars, new cigars, people, hey, let me try that. So I typically find that when you buying 2 to 3 boxes, they go pretty fast because it's a new cigar. People want to try it, and you turn right back around. So capitalize on the your buying power, especially when we're having sales discounts on them. When we, like at TPE, we said buy 10 get 1 free, and quite a few people took advantage of that.
Yeah, and that's special at shows. And do you offer that outside of the show? You have special buy X get 1.
Every once in a while, and when I do, I have the email address for all of my lounges, and I send out a newsletter once every 3 months, and it's basically 4 times a year. Once every 3 months, I'll send one out, a newsletter, and I'll make an offer for that month. So special for that month, and a lot of people do take advantage of that.
Okay. I'm going to take another quick break, go through what's new in news and reviews on Stogie Press. And when we come back, I'm going to do a little lightning round with you. We're going to learn some nuances of Desiree.
All right. Good luck.
I'm usually pretty good at these, so we'll see how you do. It's been 2 weeks, and I've obviously was at TPE all last week, so there wasn't a lot of content that came out. last week, but a lot of stuff came out this week. I'll just start with reviews. I did 3 reviews this week. The first one is the Hiram Solomon Cabal Toro. This one came in at an 89. The Cabal Toro is a Dominican, comes from Dominican Republic through the PDR Cigar Factory. It's a Corolla 99, that should say 99, I'm sorry. Indonesian Sumatra, and a Corolla Lajero, and a Corolla Seiko as a filler. $10 cigars come in a box count of 20. I get some really nice flavor profile out of this with really rich cedar notes. I had some citrus and citrus peel came in, some dark chocolate, floral, natural sweetness, nut, pepper, and spice. I found this nice, except it did exhibit a flaky ash along with kind of a jagged burn, as you'll notice. It's kind of where it lost some of its points, but you can see the cigar in here. I mean, it started off and then it kind of got a little wavy, and the ash carried real nice, but it started getting all kinds of flaky and a little off burn, a little off-scented burn cone there. So, and then it got this going near the end. So that's kind of where it lost some of its points. Flavor-wise, I found it to be pleasant. So you could check that out. The next one was the Aganorsa Leaf Anniversario Maduro Toro. Now, this was what would have been the Casa Fernandez anniversary. They rebranded all of it. So this is now the Aganorsa Leaf branding on it. Beautiful packaging. Almost $14 cigar, come in a box count of 10. It's a Nicaraguan Corojo Maduro with Nicaraguan binders and fillers. So yes, this is a Nicaraguan Puro. Didn't have a really complex flavor profile, but I did get some really rich notes of cinnamon and dark chocolate, some earth pepper, and kind of a syrupy note, especially on the aroma. This is definitely something I would like to smoke in the midday. It was a kind of a medium to full strength, but more not as close to the full. So it's a very nice cigar. Definitely worth picking up a $5 of for this. They come in 3 different sizes. So the 109 cap, which is the original one, was 13. The short Churchill and the Toro. So you can see the construction here. It's got kind of a semi-closed foot there. Had a really decent burn coming through. Kind of a flat burn cone. Ash picked right back up down to the nub. So very nice cigar. You can check that one out also. And then last one I did was the Sinestro Cigar Company, the Honchos. Now this is an interesting cigar because it's not something that Sinestro actually did in their production line. This got picked up by Privada Cigar Club. So the guys got together and they were smoking and they said, we want this. And they had like a big negotiation as to whether they would let it go out into the market. This is usually something that the guys that founded Sinestro Cigars, they just smoke. It's like their family cigar. But they let the Privada Cigar Club run with it. So you can get these on the Privada Cigar Club. There's a $13 cigar. There's no real box count, so you can order them 1, 2, 5, 10, whatever you want. It's a wrapper, has a broadleaf wrapper with a Dominican Piloto Cubano and a Nicaraguan and Dominican filler. Nice flavor profile: coffee, cream, dark chocolate, fruit, natural sweetness, oak, roasted nut, and savory spice. Now, what's interesting about this cigar is I'm going to come down here into the notes. So you could see it got gets a little off burn, gets a little weirdness here. And this burn here was a problem. Continued with a little bit more of an off burn. I think I needed to do a slight touch up on it. But the most amazing part of this cigar for me was somewhere around just before the midway point, I got what I described as a fizzy chocolate note. And the only way I could describe that with the early cream and chocolate that's in this is like a New York egg cream. And if you don't know what a New York egg cream is, look it up and go make yourself one. You'll understand what I'm talking about. Those that know. All right. It completely woke up the palate and brought back all these memories of me in a soda shop back when I was a kid. It was just this really rich, beautiful sweet and chocolate and fizzy note to it. So that one there, and then it ends up with kind of a hints of oak and spice as it goes down to the finish. But it did have multiple off burns, had a flat burn cone, off-centered cone, had jagged burns, had a lot of issues with the burn on this one, unfortunately. From news, I'm not going to go into all the details of the news. I'll just quick go through them. Mombacho Cigars now announced that Jared Michele Ingrasano is now the new president of Mombacho Cigars. General Cigars had come out with a flurry of news releases this week. Boulevard, they came out with a Boulevard Cafreda. This is a lost and found that is being released by Scandinavian Tobacco Group. This is being done in collaboration with Robert Caldwell in his lost and found collection. So you can check out that when it's hitting the market right now. Diesel launched its third Sunday gravy expression. By the way, anybody that's paying attention to this, I saw the Facebook comments on it. Gravy, sauce, whatever you want to call it. Some people said, no, they're talking about brown gravy. And the answer to that is absolutely no. They are talking about the tomato gravy. And the hint to that is when you look at the packaging, it says, where is it? It's on here somewhere. I gotta find it. Maybe it's on another picture. It talks about the type of tomatoes that you would have in crushed tomato can, crushed tomatoes in a can. So this is definitely a reference to the Sunday Italian gravy, or people call it still sauce. There is also Punch is kicking off the Year of the Tiger with their Fu Manchu. Fu Manchu comes in a nice packaging here, comes in a nice little can of 20 cigars. So that's really nice. It's being made at Hotzer in Donley, Honduras. And Postani Cigars are now shipping the SBC 20. They use in here, this is kind of a short article. This is going to be a Corona Gorda in one size, and they are they're using Skip Martin's factory as they usually do to make these. So you can check that out. They should be available, especially if you're in the Cigar Hustler shop in Florida. Macanudo came out with the Inspirado Green Gigante. This is a 6x60 of the Macanudo Green. And CAO released a Firewalker version of the Arcana. So look for that hitting the shelves. And then this right here was announced just before TPE that Hiram and Solomon was showcasing 3 new lines. The Cabal, which I just reviewed, they have the Revival, and they have the Sublime Prince. So they've just announced those. Tarazona Cigars was debuting the Project Fat Man, which is a 6x60. And they also had another one called, that should be, maybe it's in here. It's not in here. Oh, and the Corned Beef Cabbage. They also released. They released that as a limited edition just in time for St. Patrick's Day. And then Alec Bradley announced the Fine and Rare BC13. And Casa Cuevas announced the limited edition Flacco. So which are all talked about and shown at TPE. So that's the news and reviews. Lastly, we did do a Cigar Lounge review. Part of my trip out to Vegas this past week was to visit a number of different cigar lounges before TPE. So this is the first one that's coming out. We've got a bunch more. This one was on the Cigar Box. You can check this place out. It's a very nice lounge. It's basically right behind Caesar's Palace on a back road. So you can check out that if you're ever in Vegas, if you know about it. They have a really fine selection of cigars. And then lastly, we put out the season 3. We put out the last episode of Taking It Up with Sin Coburn, the owner of Dissident Cigars. And for those that don't know, her dog Jake died when she got back from TPE. and she's going through a major moment right now because of that. She's really kind of broken down. It was a sudden thing. So give any love, want to pass some love to Sin, please do. She's a great woman and doing what she's doing. So that is the news, reviews, and else on Stogie Press. Let's get back to Desiree. All right. So we'll get to wrap the show up now. Couple of quick lightning rounds.
All right.
What's your favorite food cuisine?
Oh wow. I'm a foodie. I love food. I love steak. I love uh, pho, ramen. I love pizza. A great pizza with great sauce. Yeah, I love food.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
What's your favorite alcohol and favorite non-alcohol beverage to pair with cigars?
Um, So it just depends on what I'm eating and drinking. I do believe in pairing my cigars with what my activity or what I'm doing. So if I'm drinking red wine, I'm pairing it with something cedar and spicy. If I'm drinking whiskey, I'm doing something a little bit more earthy, more a little bit fuller, so that the flavors of the cigar won't get lost with the whiskey, the harshness, or because I love rye. Whiskeys. I love tequila and cigars. And I tend to do lighter with my tequila because the tequila seems to enhance some of the other the notes that I don't get all the time with some of the other drinks that I have. Lately, since TPE, I've been drinking lots of ginger ale, root beer, and water with my cigars. I am trying to give my liver a break.
There you go. I don't disagree with that. I actually love a craft cream soda.
Oh yeah,
Real
cream soda
cane
are
sugar,
really good.
not the fake
Yeah,
crap, that's always
yeah, and actually with the ginger ale, ginger beers, I do love the full body cigars with it. It really it just complements it to me. I do believe that there's so many cigars out here. It's easier for me to pair a cigar with what I'm eating, drinking than the opposite.
you do many streaming of shows at home?
Uh, I watch a little TV. Don't watch TV very often. But when I do, it's definitely sci-fi. I'm a sci-fi girl. I like the I like the dragons and the Walking Dead, the zombies and the vampires and all those and the superheroes. So I'm that girl and the witches and the warlocks and stuff. So when I do get to watch that, that's kind of what I'm doing.
You get along great with my wife. She loves The Walking Dead. I can't. They've gone so far over the top now with Walking Deads and vampires and zombies that they all kind of blend together for me now, and it's like I don't know. It sounds like the last one.
And they all are, but I don't know. It's something that keeps my imagination going.
Mm-hmm.
So.
If you were to go anywhere, money doesn't matter for vacation. What would your most wanted, desperate vacation spot be in the world?
I definitely want to go to Dubai, but the Greek Isles, I want to go there as well. So one of those is a toss up. I might just do them both. It's money didn't matter, so
That's it. That's the secret thing, right? Exactly. Yeah. Okay, well, that's the show. I always try to keep it to about an hour. I appreciate you coming on. We did have some. You can go back and look at some of these comments that we maybe didn't get to. Check it out on the feed. Remember, people, love, like, share this video. You get on the Wheel of Wonderfulness, which is now called the Wow Show, on Saturdays at 1 o'clock. And you know, Boston Jimmie is going to be giving some stuff away. I'm going to say it here for those that are paying attention. If you get the new, if you're a subscriber to Stogie Press, as of today, you got your email. And yes, there is an Valentine's Day giveaway Easter egg in the email. So you know what that means. It means it's not a small box of product. It's a large box of product. So check your email, because only those that answer that Easter egg question get in the drawing. And that's a special drawing, which will happen. I think I'm going to do it midweek early, because I want to get it to you in time for Valentine's Day.
Oh.
A little extra love from me.
Oh.
So thank you. I'm going to give you the last word before I close out the show.
So for your customers, I'm going to give you a secret password that they will get a discount off of the cigars that they order online. So in your newsletter or however you blast it, you can do whatever you want with it. But those will be just for your customers. But I just want to thank you and everybody that's on here today and that will listen later for supporting, allowing me on your show. And I look forward to what the future holds.
All right. And blessings to you. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I want to thank the sponsors for without them, the show's always a little harder to do, but I do appreciate all my sponsors. And of course, all of you watching, and those of you who are watching it later, thank you very much. That's our Take It and Up show for today. This is Boston Jimmie out, Stogie Press. Peace. You all have a great, great Saturday.